Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you may be around this globe. Or maybe you're getting ready for the weekend. Maybe your weekend has already begun. But anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day, wherever you may be. I know I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's not like I don't do anything on the weekend. As a matter of fact, I do more on the weekend look like than during the weekdays. Just because I'm not here on live doesn't mean that, everything is, just party, party, party. Because on the weekend, I connect, I physically connect with women in my community and encourage them to be the best version of themselves. So, with that being said, I'm your host, Gertrude J. Chapman. And today I want to speak to women. I want to speak to those women entrepreneurs. I want to speak to those moms. I want to speak to those, small business owners, retirees, wherever you may find yourself, because I realize, talking to women, and I talk to women each and every day, that a lot of times they downplay their value because they're not seeing their value. They're not seeing how much they're worth. And this is something that could easily happen because you're in the dailies, you're doing things each and every day. And a lot of times what we do, women, we put ourselves on the back burner. We take care of everybody else and we forget about ourselves. But I want to say that a lot of times we're not maximizing our potential. We're not maximizing our potential. And, I help women who are struggling, with not maximizing their potential. They're struggling in other areas of their lives. Sometimes it could be from a myriad of things. But when they're struggling, in certain areas of their lives, it's a result of what they're not seeing how much they're worth, or not even thinking about it. They don't even think about it. It don't even come into their mind. Well, I could do this, I could do that in order to meet this goal and that goal. So as an inspirational book coach, that's what I help women do. I help them to see their value. I help them to see their work. I help them to maximize their potential and to write their story, because I believe every woman has a story to tell, and to include exactly what they need to put into that book. And it helps them, save time and save money and avoid making costly mistakes. And like I said, we're going to talk about something very specific today. Very specific. Because a lot of times people are held back by, this thing called perfection. They're held back by this. Now, the theme for this month you already know is productivity. But I want to talk about strive to be persistent and not perfect. Why should you strive to be persistent and not perfect? You know, you have to be okay with the fact that nothing is perfect. Understand this, nothing is perfect. There's too many authors who are still waiting to write their books because they feel like their message isn't perfect. What is a perfect message, y'all? And that's something that can be very conflicting and confusing, that statement, because they do have a message that needs to be told. They have a message that needs to be told, but they're waiting on, number one, they're waiting on the perfect time or the perfect book without mistakes. The perfect book without mistakes. And I'm going to tell you, we don't intentionally practice writing books full of error, but there is some content that may be true at a particular time. But with time, you have to understand that some things change And that's okay. Because that's when the second book, the third book, the fourth book, the fifth book, what have you, can bring out. Because a lot of times people concentrate on one book and they're not thinking about that it could be many books, or they cram everything into one book and they're still waiting to be perfect, have that perfect message, have that perfect book, you know? And again, there's never a perfect time. That's another thing they wait on, a perfect time. Waiting only delays getting the answers to your audience. You know, the answers that they are seeking, the answers that they are waiting for. They have questions and they're looking for those answers. And a lot of times I don't think that people fully understand that they have the keys to somebody's pain points that they are desperately searching for. And you know, a lot of times what happens with authors, you know, it comes with people not truly seeing themselves, having much self-worth. And that could come from a variety of things that clouded their vision of themselves. But I want to tell you that you are valuable and your brilliance speaks volumes. When you are afraid and you hold back on your brilliance because you're afraid of being judged, okay? You're afraid of being judged. That's what it is. With the perfection, I have to have the perfect book at the perfect time. You know? You you're afraid of what others, you put what others expect of you ahead of your value, ahead of what you think of yourself, ahead of your audience. And you have to stop thinking like that, because you know that's um a selfish thing to think. And I know that you're not selfish. I know that that's not what you're trying to be, but it's selfish because you have an audience. Your message is not about you, but your message is about your audience. And a lot of times, you know, I have this lady that I'm working with right now, and that was her excuse. I'm waiting for the perfect time. I'm waiting for the perfect time. You can avoid this by always putting your best efforts forward to bring value to your ideal audience. Value to your audience is what counts. So produce something that will bring change to their lives and give them an easy win, an aha moment, something that will bring about another way of thinking. They didn't see it that way, you know, but you saw it and you translated that through your message. That's what's important, y'all. I'm going to tell you, it's impossible to get everything right the first time. Because you know, how many times have you done something and thought that you had completed everything only to find out that you left something out, or you didn't do it a certain way? Okay? I want to tell you it's okay, because no one is perfect. You can always upgrade. Now, another way to look at this is, you know, from phase to phase. Okay? From phase to phase. Always think about that. Good morning, Janae. How you doing today? Adjustments is something that you could think about, making adjustments. So many times, authors place undue pressure on themselves. And that's not fair to you. That's not fair to you because, you know, they fret over something that only they were aware of. Nobody else knows. Because it's all in your head that you need to be perfect. It's a mindset thing. It's all in your head. And I'm going to tell you, it's truly not fair to yourself. nor is it fair to your ideal audience. And I want you to think about that for a moment. It's not fair. So don't put that undue pressure on yourself that you have to be perfect. No, be persistent. And I talked about that yesterday, about bringing value each and every time you sit down to write. Don't just write gibberish. Bring value. You know, be accustomed to writing value each and every day to connect with your audience. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever read a book that had mistakes? I'm sure, it wasn't intentional. Now, it wasn't intentional. Even best-selling books have mistakes at times. Did it stop you from reading the book? Or was the message that it carried more important because of the value? Now, I'm not encouraging you to write books and not care about the mistakes and the errors, but what I'm telling you, not to fret, because it can be fixed. Good morning, Marcia. How you doing? Those things can be fixed. Here's a nugget. Okay, here's a nugget. I want you to remember this. You can easily correct an ebook. When I need to update things and I need to change a link, all I do is I change it, take it offline, change it, put it back online, and within seconds, it's back online. If I see something that needs to be changed, I go and I correct it, put it back online. I don't fret. I learn not to fret. And you can't put yourself through that undue pressure. If you are struggling to be perfect, ask yourself these questions. I want you to think about this. Ask yourself these questions. Can you allow yourself to write your book, knowing that you have an opportunity to make it better later? Question number 2. Would you allow yourself to finish writing your book and gather feedback to find ways to improve your book? Think about that. Question number 3. Who is really missing out if you are delaying your book because you're waiting for the perfect time? Who's really missing out? Writing is an action word. When you are saying, I'm writing my book, but you've not activated it, that means you haven't gotten started yet. You're not being truthful to yourself. Come on, y'all. Let's line up. Let's line up our words with our action. Believing in yourself has a lot to do with the conversation today. Believing that you can do it. Believing that you have value. Believing that your message is important. Believing that your message can start a movement. Believing, okay? And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter. I think the lady's name was Wilder, if I could remember. Maybe Laura Wilder. And she had done some work, early on in her life. But as she got older, she did, and I can't remember the name of the book right now, but you will remember the movie, the show. Good morning, Regina. How you doing today? She wrote the book, and that book was turned into a show called Little House on the Prairie. You remember that, right? So you never know where your book writing journey will take you. You never know. So stop waiting on the perfect time. Stop waiting for your book to be perfect. You could always adjust things. You could always upgrade things. You could always write another book and another book and another book. Okay? So don't fret on those little things. What you think about is the message and the value that you're bringing to your audience. I want you to believe in yourself. I told y'all that I'm going deep for the rest of the year. And you have to listen to get on board before this train leaves the station. Okay? He that has an ear to hear, let him hear. Yes, that's right. Laura Ingalls Wilder. Thank you, Marcia. And that came, that book turned into Little House on the Prairie. And you know the success of that. Who says that your book couldn't bring you that same success or more? So stop, sitting back waiting for the perfect time and be intentional. Write your book. Send your message out there to the marketplace. Allow people's lives to be transformed through your message. You have nothing to analyze until you write your book and get it out there in the marketplace. And then you hear from people whose lives have been transformed through your message. That's very important. You're looking for people's lives to be transformed. Good morning, Garen. How you doing today? So learn how to effectively create your unique message to change people's lives. Strive to be persistent and not perfect. Not perfect, y'all. Because we're humans. We make mistakes. But there's room for improvement. So I hope that what I've shared with you today has brought value. That you have learned something today to write your book. Be persistent. Don't just write gibberish each and every time you sit down. If you're struggling with your message, don't write gibberish. Really think about what you're writing so you could connect with your audience. See that person that's sitting on the other side of your computer or, whatever it may be, however you visualize it. See that person. See how you could help them, with your message. See how your message could transform their lives. That's what's important. It's your message is all about them. It's never about you. So I hope that you will have a fantastic weekend. And I want you to schedule a free 15-minute discovery call with me. If you need help getting your book out there in the marketplace, or maybe you even have a book out there and it's not doing well because it's sitting in boxes in the garage in the corner somewhere, just collecting dust. And your book is not working for you. Okay? Your book is supposed to be working for you. It's not supposed to be sitting around. Okay? So schedule a free discovery call with me by going to bit.ly/generate revenue 2021. Again, that's bit.ly/generate revenue 2021. Create your book, get it in the marketplace, y'all, and then you can analyze it. So I want to thank you for joining me today into Turning Your Passion into Profit Morning Show. And I look forward to seeing you the next time. Don't forget to share this broadcast out with your friends because you never know who needs to be encouraged to get their message out there because everybody, has a story to tell and it's worth sharing with somebody. So Until the next time, remember this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.